Good morning, students. So here for Thursday, we are continuing on with our graphing of ordered pairs on our coordinate system. But the difference is today we're doing it backwards than yesterday, but it is still the same concept. I'm going to show you how. So instead of putting in the ordered pair, we're going to look at the ordered pair and find the point with the letter. So I'm actually going to skip the directions because it is exactly what we did yesterday, just flipped around with the solution. So I'm actually going to start with our first sample to show you how to do this. So we're going to find the point, not the ordered pair. So for the first sample, sample 1, it says to find the point that is associated with 6, 2. So remember that these are both positive. So when you have the first number positive, it means you are going to be going to the right of the 0. So let's go to the right of the 0 by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it says 2. That's a positive 2. So we're going to be going up because up is positive. 1, 2. So here we have our point. This is point B. That means that the point associated with positive 6, positive 2 is B. So we write our letter B as our answer. For sample 2, we have -5, 5, or you can say -5, positive 5. So we're going to go now to the left because the left is negative. So we're going to go -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. And then we're going to go positive 5. So that means we're going up. Remember that positive is up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we land on our point, point A. So it may seem very, very easy, but you can easily go in the wrong direction. So remember, to the right of 0 is positive. Up from 0 is positive. To the left of 0 is negative, and down from 0 is negative. And the symbols are next to the numbers, but in my opinion, they look a little confusing because sometimes these graph lines look like negatives. So I would just make sure to remember that to the right and up is positive, to the left and down is negative. And make sure that you're writing your point, your letter, in your answer column when you're done. Here for Thursday for language arts, we have page 165 and 166. So here for 165, we just have a cheat sheet for the proper use of capital letters. So this is just a sheet that you can come back to remind yourself of which words and which letters should be capitalized. So this one has proper nouns. So as we know, the difference between common nouns and proper nouns, all proper nouns should be capitalized. For example, the names and initials, so the names and initials of people, nationalities, races, and religions, days, holidays, and months, historical events or periods, organizations and businesses, ships, awards, all other particular nouns. So, also, there are specific places that are always capitalized, and there are geographical names. So, around our globe, these are the places that are always capitalized. We have streets, so the names of streets, which would count as a proper noun. Continents, cities and states, geographical features, regions of the country. So if we're talking about the West or the East, or in this case, the Far East, when we talk about it in that way, like, oh, they are from the West, West actually becomes capitalized in that context. We have recreational areas, countries, and then our planets. So this is just a reference page noting capitalization rule 4, in which you can come back to and remind yourself if needed. But for our written activity, we have our last page of our written work from our book for this week. Let me get that for us. This is page 166. And before we begin our think area from numbers 1 through 15, we're going to read just a little bit more about capitalization, just a few more tips. So just to remember not to capitalize north, south, east, west, southwest, etc. when these words show only a direction. So you do capitalize them if, for example, you're saying North Dakota. That's what comes to mind. Or if you're saying the entire region, like the North, has beautiful ski resorts. But in general, you do not capitalize north, south, east, west, etc. You do not capitalize the names of the seasons. So that one can be a little tricky. Spring, summer, fall, or autumn, and winter, we do not capitalize. Do not capitalize words such as school, hotel, theater, university, street, or mountain. These are common nouns. However, if they are part of a name, then you would capitalize them. So here's a difference, a good comparison. I graduated from Ashland Christian High School. So if the entire name includes high school, you would capitalize high school. But if you're talking about any high school in general, like this is a beautiful high school, you would not capitalize high school. And you do not capitalize the word earth unless it is mentioned in the same sentence with other planets. Interesting. So the earth in the garden is soft and fertile. So in this case, earth just means dirt. I live on the earth. This does mean our planet, but because there aren't any other planets in that sentence, we keep it not capitalized. So, interesting fact. So again, for think, you're doing the same activity that you did yesterday, except this time, instead of crossing out the small letters, you're going to circle the words that have an incorrect small letter. You're not going to correct it, but you're just going to circle it. So every time you see a word that should be capitalized, you circle it. So let's just do number 1. For example, did you enjoy your Christmas vacation out west? So Christmas, our holiday, that should be capital. And also west, because normally we would not capitalize west. However, because it's talking about the entire region, in this case, we would capitalize it. So, some are already capitalized, so you don't need to circle those, only the ones that need to be, from numbers 2 through 15.